Salutare, salutare! Stai să văd dacă mă văd, dacă mă aud. Haide, băi. Am apărut sau n-am apărut? E bine, am apărut. Eu sunt Geleven și bine m-ați găsit la jocul de duminică. Cum v-am promis data trecută, am un joc pentru voi care n-am pregătit pe aici. Vai, steaua mea, toate cablurile, toate. Am un joc foarte fain pentru voi și sper să vă placă la fel de mult cum mi-a plăcut și mie. Salutare Romanovski, Bogdan, Silviu, Mihai Romanovski din nou și The Crow. Uite-l pe The Crow. Salut The Crow. Jocul este excelent din punct de vedere vizual. Mai am o gură de banană. Este excelent din punct de vedere vizual și cred că se poate face într-un singur play. Vreau doar să mă uit la o chestie aici. Asta e costumul original. Uite, avem de colecționat costume în jocul ăsta. Mai sunt două pe care nu le am. Salut Șișe! Toată lumea bună și lumea veche e aici cu Jelly. Dacă aș putea să pun și eu chat-ul ăsta undeva. Nu știu cum e cu delay-ul și cu astea. Are collectible-uri. Are outfit-uri. O să jucăm pe outfit-ul normal. Și luăm de la capăt episodul 1. Este vorba despre un astronaut rus care ajunge pe o planetă undeva. El teoretic trebuia să foreze în planeta aia, să caute nu știu ce, și au pierdut și faia de forat, au pierdut și o bombă atomică, au pierdut tot. Și tot jocul este de fapt căutarea acelei bombe, pentru că un comandant mai superior pentru el îl tot interoghează ce ai făcut, unde ai fost și de ce ai pierdut bomba și unde e bomba. Și practic noi o să vedem aventurile lui pe planeta respectivă în căutarea bombei și a ce a pierdut el. Nu e foarte complicat, controlul este destul de fain, dar vizual este așa. Hai să vedem. Episodul 1 are 9 episoade plus un episod bonus. Hai să vedem povestea.
You are comrade Ivan Ivanovich Privalov.
Ivan Ivanovich.
In 1961, you were selected for the Shukovgrad Interonaut Exploration Program SSSR. Despite failing your basic physical and being caught cheating on your entrance exams, on the morning of the 12th of April 1962, you boarded a rocket drill containing the experimental device Little Orpheus, with the purpose of descending through the Earth's crust to discover the relative hollowness of the interior and its suitability for colonization.
No, you've lost me, General. Did I do what?
You and Little Orpheus were dropped into an extinct volcano to drill to the center of the Earth and find out if we could establish a city there. Note, if you will, that this date is over 3 years ago.
Ha! Deci tipul a fost trimis într-o misiune, a pierdut și drill-ul, a pierdut și bomba și acum noi trebuie să mergem pe urmele lui prin tot ce a trecut el și tot ce a văzut pe planeta aia în toată aventura asta și cum îi explică el comandantului tot ce a văzut și nu prea-l crede ăla, dar uitați-vă ce frumos arată. Eu cred că ar trebui să scot camera, ce părere aveți? Salut, Adi! N-ar trebui să scot camera. Că mi se pare că se vede ciudat așa. Să-l vedeți numai jocul, nu și... Sau na, hai că rămânem așa. Să-mi spuneți dacă totul e ok, se aude bine, se vede bine, se mișcă ok. Am... nu e webcam-ul prea mare, puteți să vedeți jocul, da? Vreau confirmarea că totul e ok, să pot continua.
Ivan Ivanovich, can you describe little Orpheus to me?
Uite,
Of course.
au găsit mașinăria de forat.
Large and round, and had something of a disagreeable smell.
I was referring to its technical specification.
Well, General, I am no man of science, but it had this radio thing that I was supposed to use to let the surface know I had arrived, and some sort of battery wrapped in this lead box. But I was told to not touch anything under any circumstances, and I did notice the engineers who
O
worked
găsit
on it
mașinăria
were
de
quite
forat.
shifty bunch.
El trebuia să vină practic să sape în mijlocul unei planete ca să descopere dacă se poate locui acolo sau nu. Ei, salut, Ceaurel! Salutare! Mamă, dar cum poate să arate jocul ăsta? Miau, miau!
The little Orpheus device contained a radio transmitter capable of sending a signal through miles of solid rock. In order to boost this, a powerful
Deci
energy
Little
source
Orpheus, de fapt,
was
numele jocului este de fapt
An
bomba aia.
atomic bomb, comrade Prevalov. An atomic bomb that you have lost.
Bomba atomică pe
Somewhere
care tu ai
below
pierdut-o.
the Earth's crust.
Ah, yes, that bomb. Of course, General. I can explain everything. But it is a long and somewhat complicated story. And let me assure you, this is not a case of milking chickens. But you won't understand where your bomb and little Orpheus has ended up unless I start at the very beginning.
Ia uite ce
You
fain
let me
arată pe
tell
aici.
you where I've been for the last 3 years.
3 ani. 3 ani a luat aventura asta. Și acum noi mergem, practic, el din ce povestește capitanului, noi vedem practic tot ce a văzut el și el explică la rândul lui.
From the beginning, then. But this had better be good.
Good, General. It's more than good. It's extraordinary. And it began like this.
Episodul 1. Totul e ca un serial. Pam, pam, pam. Excelent. Episodul 1. Comrades to the center. Ta-da!
An extraordinary sight. I realized this must be the fabled land of Plutonia,
Yeah.
as documented by the brilliant scholar Obruchev.
Plutonia.
A trail of destruction carved by the rocket drill led down into the
uitați-vă cum
wild
arată
and
jocul ăsta.
mysterious jungle. The rocket drill itself must have snapped in half somewhere below Kamchatka, and little Orpheus bounced out and became lost in that prehistoric forest. If I was ever to get home, my mission was clear: to find little Orpheus.
Deci trebuie să găsim bomba pierdută din racheta aia. Da, e wow. E wow jocul ăsta. Și e foarte
I
funny.
steeled myself and plunged deeper into that prehistoric jungle where insects the size of dogs buzzed around.
Dogs. What sort of dogs?
I beg your pardon, General?
Large dogs or small dogs? Big like an ovcharka or small like a barlonka?
Does it really matter?
Of course. Detail is all important.
Ovcharka then, General. The size of an ovcharka.
I find that very hard to believe.
Would you find it easier if they were the size of a balanka?
No. But I am enjoying your attempts to persuade me.
Da, eu aș scoate camera de tot. Stai să văd cât de mare e să fac camera mai mică. Uite așa. E bine? E bine. Loco! Mamă, 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 mamă. Ce faci, loco? Opa. Ce e asta?
Another part of the rocket drill. But still no sign of little
O
Orpheus.
bucată din navă. Rocket drill. Rocket drill. Wow! Cred că trebuie să fug aici. Yeah. Mamă, dar ce decoruri are jocul ăsta, deci aici e numai jungla, dar să vedeți mai încolo. El momentan caută resturile de la navă. Opa, dinozauri.
Between the trees, I could see huge beasts, larger and more ancient than any known to our modern times. Could it be that Obrachev was right? And deep below the Earth's surface, prehistoric monsters still roam freely.
Yes, yes, but little Orpheus.
Da, muzica se adaptează în funcție de acțiunea jocului. Wow. Prinde-o! Haide. Nice. Bună, Lali. Lali, cred că vrei ca Snacksul să vadă joculețul ăsta. Abia a început. Cred că vrei să-l vadă. Ups. Prehistorical creatures. Dinosaurs.
Terrible lizard intent on making a snack of me was none other than the most awful of the monsters, the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, now you are an expert on dinosaurs.
Oh, hardly an expert, General. Just educated by the best schools in the world, like all good socialists. And I remembered one crucial thing.
I'm listening.
Well, its greed is without bottom, its hunger is ferocious,
Hei, lupo,
but its
salut!
brain is absolutely tiny. So, it can roar and roar as much as it likes, but it will never be a match for the sharpened
unde l-a
mind of
văzut
the
Lali?
good Soviet worker. All I needed was a plan to outwit the monster.
Haide. În pădure pe aici. Păi n-are cum să-l vad aici, Lali, că e prima dată când fac jocul ăsta. E prima dată, n-am mai făcut jocul ăsta aici. Oh, ce e aici?
Imagine my shock and surprise to find in that clearing the last part
Ia
of
uite
the rocket drill.
bucățile de la rachetă.
More shocking was the fact it had been ransacked. Someone had made off with the tools, the weapons, the rations, and the spare parts for the Pragviev.
Și că lipsesc proviziile, lipsește bomba.
Play. Perhaps little Orpheus was not lost at all, but stolen. All I
că
could do
cineva a furat
was follow
bomba.
the trail further into Plutonia.
Cineva a furat bomba, că trebuia să fie aici. Mamă, uite oase. Ups. Fugi, fugi, fugi. Fugi, 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 fugi. Stai. Hai, uite-te, pleacă de aici, pleacă de aici. Du-te în partea altă. Atât. Stai acolo. Stai acolo. Ups.
So we all agree this was the fabled land of Plutonia, do we? I don't remember accepting that.
I will admit it might not have been Plutonia if you are prepared to accept the dinosaur.
This isn't a negotiation, Ivan Ivanovich.
General, you can disagree all you like, but there's very little you can do to persuade me it wasn't a dinosaur.
I might not be able to persuade you, but I can always have you shot.
Trebuie să stau ascuns. Ha? Du-te de aici, du-te de aici. Du-te de aici. Hai mă, dă-te de aici. Hai, du-te în partea altă. Atât. Tai-o. Mă ascund. Hai, du-te de aici. Ups. Capul sus. Acum. Trecem. Ups. Ouă. Oh. Ok. Am intrat într-un nou. Ia, ascultați muzica. Orice pas pe care îl fac eu este o notă. Deci muzica se dă după ce faci tu un joc. Ups. A. Hai, uite, dă-te în jos, dă-te în jos. Stop! N-ai văzut nimic? Hop! Pleacă de aici. Da, Lali, e și pe Steam.
You hid in an egg.
Yes, General. I hid in an egg.
I am glad to hear your military training was not wasted. If only I had a single legion of men as brave and ingenious as you, with only 100 men equipped with eggs to hide in, we could roll across Europe in a day.
General, are you mocking me?
Nu-l
You
crede.
are as sharp as you are brave.
Nu-l crede că s-o
Tavarus.
ascuns nou. Ăsta îi spune sărac cu toate... Ups. Fugi, fugi. Că cineva vine. Ceva vine. Stai așa. Joc! Blackster! Salut încet. Salutare. Alex, nu-i Jurassic Park, nu. E Little Orpheus. Auzi ce muzică faină. E genul jump and run adventure, story, collectible, da, cam da. Și că ar fi fost cel mai bun joc din 2020, ceva de genul. Ups. Mamă, am dărâmat tot templul. Da, acum pot să trec. Hai da. Mamă, nici n-aveți idee ce. Câte poze am făcut în jocul ăsta.
I couldn't believe it.
Știți că eu fac
I still
screenshot-uri
struggle
la...
to believe it.
Fac screenshot-uri ca
A
nebunul.
whole lost city, buried in that jungle deep below the
Trebuie
crust
să
of
trag
the
asta de
earth.
aici.
Who would have thought it was possible?
Who indeed? It is, of course, a shame you didn't think to record the moment for posterity and help us all
Ăla
to
nu-l
get
crede,
over
ci că...
our
Păi de ce n-ai
dismay.
înregistrat nimic și n-ai pozat
But I
nimic?
did, General, I did.
Dar
My
zice că
training
a
was
pierdut
excellent,
camera.
and I immediately took out my comsamoliets and began to document all I could.
Aici trebuie să merg acolo. După aia sus. Și să împingem asta. Ca să pot urca acolo.
So, where is this camera now, then?
Ah, General, yes. What of course I meant to say was my training was excellent, and I immediately reached for my camera, only to realize it must have been torn from my utility belt in the crash and lost forever in that forgotten jungle.
Puzzle-uri nu sunt foarte grele, chiar foarte simple puzzle-urile. Dar eu sunt fascinat de cât au putut să modeleze ăștia pentru levelurile astea, prin care tu practic doar treci o dată, nu te întorci, n-ai nicio treabă. O singură dată treci prin jocul ăsta și uite ce...
Horrendous beast had returned and was hungrier than ever.
Perhaps it was angry it had been fooled by an egg-wearing idiot.
That is unkind, General. It may have been small of brain, but it was grand of stature.
Whereas you,
Vezi,
Ivan
pe
Ivanovich,
fundal
are
auzi
lacking in
detalii
both
despre ceea ce
departments.
vezi.
Presuming there were no more eggs to hide in, did you have a new plan?
I did, General.
Please, do tell me, what was this brilliant plan?
Oh, snap!
I ran like hell, General.
Fugi, 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 fugi! Ah! Am scăpat. Salut, Dan! Am scăpat.
Will our intrepid yet doomed hero survive the jaws of the ferocious dinosaur? Will he meet his end miles underground as an aperitif for a ravenous raptor? What dark secrets could be buried in the lost city of Agatha? Will the general ever discover the location of his lost bomb? All of these questions and more will be answered in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
S-a terminat primul episod. Și acum el îți dă genericul și tu dai next episode. Țăc. Gata, episodul 1, avem și collectible-uri luate. Hai că episodul 2. Episode 2. Next. Salut, Iurica!
What luck! What a miracle! One moment I was rushing into the fetid tonsils of that horrible monster, The next, I was
Salut,
plummeting
Marius!
downwards to the jungle floor beyond its reach. I prayed I would
Mamă,
land on
ce
something
tare.
soft.
Perhaps your head.
Cum e să
But
cazi în continuu?
nothing could have prepared me for what was about to unfold. An epic saga.
Bă, au.
Power and revolution.
Oh.
A struggle for freedom the likes of which our world has never seen.
Au.
It happened like this.
Nu mai lăsăm genericul, da? El e pe episoade. Fiecare episod e ca un desen animat. Tada! Bun. Haide, mai departe. Am scăpat de dinozauri. Am ajuns într-un fel de... Ce aici? Pădure cu temple. Cu... Bă, ce e aia? Uite unul sus acolo. Uite, sunt niște oameni aici. Zici că-s din Avatar. Niște creaturi.
Who were those strange, gentle monsters who towered above me? I could only guess they were the lost tribe of the Menth,
The Lost Tribe.
an earlier race of people. But why were they so fearful of those ancient gates that lay just beyond their village?
Salut, Marian!
And why did they seem to recognize me? Why?
Și că mă recunoaște. Mă recunoaște lumea pe aici. Și zice că le e frică de uși. Dar despre ce uși? Ca, uite, salut, salut!
Yes, I'm also wondering why.
Acolo, acolo.
Wagaksh, General. Who was I to question such things? Trapped as I was deep underground. I was more curious, I must admit, about the location of little Orpheus.
Deci noi căutăm bomba aia. Practic bomba aia a fost furată de la locul epavei. Și acum noi mergem ca nebunii până tot felul de locații. Ia uite. Am ajuns la prima ușă.
You talk of a great city, a mighty power. Yet your nymph squatted like savages in huts at its boundary.
They did. And the answer to that mystery lay beyond my grasp at that point. Because it was a wonder, it truly was.
Uite, și poți să iei bila și să o muți ca să activezi poarta. Ue. Prima poartă.
The lost city of Agartha.
Agartha.
I hope I may one day see it myself.
Oh, General, if only you could. Unfortunately, as I shall explain, should you seek Agartha now, you wouldn't find it.
Și că dacă o
Has
cauți
been
acum,
utterly
nu mai
destroyed.
găsești. Am ajuns înăuntru. Vă place jocul până aici?
Utterly destroyed?
Utterly, General, a tragic loss.
A convenient loss.
I imagine archaeologists weeping as I tell you. But most importantly, before we continue, you must understand one crucial fact about its destruction.
Which is?
It wasn't my fault.
Ci că distrugerea lumii nu a fost vina mea. Mamă, ce e aici? Da, uite, să ăștia închiși în cuști pe acolo. Opa, l-am eliberat pe ăla. What? Na, că l-au făcut de-a lor. Eu pus și lui o cască și gata, l-a corupt. Trebuie să am grijă cu ăștia.
Poor unfortunate Miengf.
Pe mine nu m-au văzut că eram după ladă.
Dragged away only to return as vicious foot soldiers to some unknown tyrant. And yet, there was something familiar about the stokovna they were forced to wear on their heads, which I was sure were being used to control and enslave them.
And what was that?
General, it curiously resembled the radio sets I used to tinker with as a child.
Radio sets?
It was very curious.
It was very curious.
It was extremely curious.
Mamă, ce templu aici. Uite o manetă sus. Ok. Trebuie să aducem bila aia ca să deschidem poarta. Ce fain vine? Poarta numărul 2. Trink. Opa. Trebuie să fug când nu se uită. Tic, 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 tic. Zici că e Little Nightmares. Numai că ăla e mult mai greu.
An ancient technological metropolis, powered by a glowing resin, carved from the very earth?
A glowing resin carved from the very earth. Do you see, General?
I fear you are about to enlighten me.
Little Orpheus must have been drained by the impact, but whoever had stolen it and brought it here was no doubt planning to use the Agarthan resin to charge up the atomic bomb, restoring the device to its full potential. What sort of man would come up with such a monstrously reckless scheme?
Perhaps the type of man who has such limited understanding of atomic energy that he thinks an ancient metropolis can be powered by shiny marbles.
O venit bila. Ușa numărul 3. Pare un pic de Indiana Jones așa, sau Tomb Raider la anumite chestii de-astea. Mamă, ce e aici? Ingenios. Bă, ăla mă vede? Ca să nu mă vadă trebuie să merg cu asta. N-ai văzut nimic? Ok, mi-a făcut mânerul acolo. Stai acolo. Fugi înapoi, fugi înapoi, fugi înapoi repede! Scurt. Salut! Ia dacă mă duc în sus, ce găsesc? Prinț o Persia când sare de pe un zi pe altul. Vremuri, ce vremuri. Stai așa, o să uită la în altă parte și tai-o. Oh. Ce ești, frate? Oh, uite bomba, uite bomba. O furat-o pterodactilii sau ce se ia. Ia-o melodie. Marian, mai bine un pic. Ah, uite că n-am fost atent și am murit. Trebuia să fug acolo. Fugi, 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 fugi. Fugi! M-am dus pe copcă. Bine, așa era făcut. Așa trebuia.
I am curious, Ivan Ivanovich. You talk and talk about this great subterranean city.
Ivan
Yet what you
Ivanovici.
describe sounds strangely familiar. It does in some way bear an uncanny resemblance to the glorious architecture of Comrade Alexei Dushkin. Wouldn't you agree?
Daniet, General. I have never heard of this great tavarish
Daniet general.
Dushkin or his works.
Interesting.
Ah,
Because you were photographed on the
mutăm bila
steps
asta.
of his marvelous Vysotka na Krasnich Varotach, shaking hands with the Glavny constructor.
That was the chief designer? The sweaty little fat man with the bad hearing?
Mind your mouth, Ivan Ivanovich. And don't think
Delicious.
you can distract me
Jellicoius.
by slandering one of the great visionaries of our time. Without him, neither of us would be sitting here now.
Must remember to thank him for that, General.
Fugi că podul ăla nu ține fără, bă. Yeah! Bă, cum poate să arate jocul ăsta. Da, știu că ai scris corect. Dar amintirea aia e mai faină. What's next? What's next? What's next? Deci ăsta dă drumul la bilă. Bila vine pe aici. Și nu cade bine. Nu cade bine.
Those enslaved mink were trying to stop me.
Trebuie să
I was
deviez.
sure of that now.
I find myself
Trebuie să
sympathizing
deviez
with
bila.
Mr. Nick.
Să o aduc aici.
No, General, then I have failed to win you over.
Aia înseamnă că trebuie să o
A point
activez
of
de aici.
agreement at last.
Fugi! Fugi, 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 fugi! Trebuie să ajung repede la maneta asta la altă. Repede, 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 repede. Să vină bila să se devieze bila unde trebuie. Haide, 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 haide. Asta e. Canalul mare e pentru altceva, Eurica. Ia de aici. Și acum, ca să nu mă vadă ăia, trebuie să fug odată cu vagonul. Nice.
I must ask again, General. Are you mocking me?
That would be unprofessional, comrade.
I will try harder to convince you then. It is, after all, a cautionary tale of unleashed tyranny.
It is a cautionary tale of unleashed idiocy.
Mamă, ce e aici?
But please,
Idiocy.
do continue.
Ce se întâmplă aici? S-a activat. S-a activat ceva. Ah, cred că poarta. Ué, vagoane. Fugi. Fugi, fugi, fugi. Hai că am scăpat.
I stepped from the cable car onto a plateau at the center of the city, where a palace, a vast acropolis,
A
stood.
palace.
I was reminded
Acropolis.
of Chelyabinsk Sorok.
May I ask how you know of Chelyabinsk Sorok?
My Aunt Masha was
Uite, o
a
statuie acolo.
traveling tinker who married a beef investigator from Zlatoust.
Ce statuie.
She told me of a secret but wonderful city in the west. An edifice of sheer power, humbly serving the will and needs of the people.
Yes, unfortunately, that story didn't end so well.
No. That's what Auntie
Ce e
Masha
asta?
told me. And perhaps that is why I was also reminded of it. Because the moment I touched the floor in that place, I could tell something was
Oops.
very, very wrong.
Stai acolo, stai acolo, stai acolo. Să trăiești, Eurica, zi faină. Și mersi. Gata, activăm asta.
The ground had begun to shake, alarmingly, and the whole city felt as if it was shuddering. I could only imagine what I would find at the heart of the vast temple.
If it isn't a giant glowing marble, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Ta-da!
A huge resin sphere that overshadowed all of the others. I caught glimpses through the twisted architecture. And it was then I saw him.
Him?
The thief, the enslaver, the tyrant, sucking the power from this wondrous
Ce face
city
cu bomba
as
aia?
it drained the very lifeblood of the ancient civilization
Trage
and drew
energia
it
de la
into the atomic
sfera aia.
embrace of little Orpheus. With a song in my heart, I raced onwards to stop him.
Dar e cineva pe pasărea aia acolo. Na, că am căzut. Era cineva pe pasărea aia. Mamă, unde e aici, frate? Sfera e aici. Fugi, fugi, fugi. Poliția. Trebuie să o activez de acolo și să fug înapoi. Până acum n-am murit deloc. Bine, decât atunci când am fost neatent. Uite bila. Și acum trebuie să o mut. La trigger. Ne-a dat maneta. Ăla nu e atent la mine. Salut, poet! Poet laureat 2. Dar unde e poet laureat 1?
Drained of its power, the magical heart of the city cracked, and it sent shockwaves through the world around me. A true monster, General, willing to bring down the mountain itself upon Agartha and bury it forever in his ruthless scheme. I could not save that wondrous place, General, to my shame and regret. I resolved myself to avenge the Miel, to recapture little Orpheus, and to bring that tyrant to justice.
Tyrant to justice. Wow, wow, wow. Sari, sari, sari. A murit odată. Fugi, 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 sari. Sari. Oh, come on. Aici îi trebuie un pic de sincronizare. Tai, sări. Tai, sări. Vezi că vine, vezi că vine, vezi că vine. Iară cad.
Will our plucky yet careless hero fall forever through those unknown skies? Will he discover the identity of the brutal thief commanding the army of the Menk? What chance does he have of ever returning to his beloved homeland? How long can the general's patience last? All of these questions and more will definitely be answered in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
Și gata, episodul 2. Next. Episodul 2, 3. Să vedeți aici. Dă continuarea.
I plummeted down through that weird sky towards a great turbulent ocean that roared and swelled. A ferocious sea that offered no hope of survival. I thought of home and wept, unaware that in an instant my fortunes would be changed by an event so bizarre I almost hesitate to tell you. And it happened like this.
Na, l-a luat balena. L-a înghițit balena.
A giant whale?
It was huge, General.
You were swallowed by a giant whale.
Yes, General.
Huge,
Look
general.
remarkably well for a man who was swallowed by a whale.
I am blessed with a strong constitution, General.
Și acum suntem în interiorul balenei. Auci aici. Yeah.
And I assume you are now going to tell me how you managed to escape from the belly of this giant whale.
Naturally, General. And I must say, it really was a fascinating glimpse into the interior life of one of our world's most magnificent beasts. I consider myself a wiser man after this experience.
Avea paraziți. Poroziți. Virusul intitulat Haidi Pa face victime. Ia să vezi. Ce e aici? Ah. Gross. Ia uitați-vă la un detaliu. Uitați-vă când merge el cum se lasă, cum se lasă solul, că e moale, e organ, e țesut, e cum s-o fi. E, efectiv e moale ca un... Ia uitați-vă când merge. Uite ce șmecher. Uite ce detaliu. Ce detaliu fain. Acid gastric, wow! Hai. Retragerea.
It's a shame, General. People can be so closed-minded.
I, on the other hand, have little choice but to hear you out.
Acidul gastric.
For your own sake, Ivan Ivanovich, I must urge you to be brief.
Absolutely, General. I will tell you directly of my miraculous escape from the belly of the whale. You simply won't believe what happened next.
That is becoming a dangerously overused phrase, comrade.
Hai sus. What? Hai sus!
And so I found myself deep within the whale's organs. A strangely beautiful place. A sort of fleshy wonderland.
Yeah.
A glade
Ai
of
bă,
polyps.
m-a atins un pic, mă, dă-te.
And so I found myself deep within the whale's organs. A strangely beautiful place. A sort of fleshy wonderland. A glade of
Fleshy
polyps and
wonderland.
globules. A landscape as awe-inspiring in its way as the forests and mountains of Altai. Oh,
Yeah.
home that I yearned and longed for and only hoped, as I hope now, that I might one day see again.
I think we're all longing for home at this
Ce avea balena asta?
With
Corăbii.
warm slippers,
Oase
a
și
mug of
corăbii și
steaming
cutii. Și uite, mine.
spitz and a roaring fire. Not far from home, trapped inside a monstrous fish with only the strange and evil-looking worms that infested its gut for company. With only one's dedication to one's country and mission to keep one from falling into despair. But no, General, I could not. I had to escape
dați seama
to
că suntem
find
într-o
little
balenă acum.
Orpheus
Ua!
and my way back to the surface and home.
Ce muzică faină. Dar uite ce-mi place cum merge și se lasă solo. Ia uite. Ops. Mamă, dar urățesc.
Worms, you say? Living
Worms,
inside the whale.
Worms.
Horrid things, those worms, General.
Ah.
And most
Ia uite,
unwelcome, I would say.
poți să-l iei?
Parasites.
Țec.
Infestation was
Paraziți.
more of the tremendous sizes they
Și
could
uite,
grow to.
l-am vindecat
At
aici,
that
vezi? Am
point,
scos
my thoughts were
parazitul.
only of escape.
Paraziți.
I had a plan.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
Fugi. Ce sunete și ce decor și ce muzică și ce... Shift. Ai câteodată niște prompturi ca tu să fii atent la ele. Acid. Aici e acid cu porția. Acid în ture. Ups. Mai avem de scos un ăsta din limbric. Porziți. Mamă, da, uite-te, băi, ce decor. Îți dai seama că tu nu mai treci pe acolo pe unde ai fost. Ai venit, ai trecut odată și gata. Bă, ce e aici, bă? 3 sud-est? Oh! Bă! There he goes! Wow, s-a prins!
These worms, they made your Nidirayatni whale sick.
Wherever they
Yeah.
attached themselves, the flesh began to turn gray and die.
Trebuie să stau aici un pic.
A distressing sight. And I resolved myself to assist the whale by
Sus, sus,
removing
sus,
the
sus,
leeches
sus,
wherever
sus,
I could
sus,
find
sari.
them during my escape.
Sus, sari. Atât. Aici să se sar de pe una pe alta. Ups! Că vine pe aia la altă. Gata. Și am ajuns la ușă. Sau ce-o fi aia? Că nu apare, nu arată o ușă.
In my mind, it was a simple plan, General. I would climb up through the whale's throat into its mouth,
Și că am ajuns în
and
gură
wait
acum.
until it opened it to feed and swim out.
Uite, aici e gâtul.
Brilliant,
Și acum
Ivan Ivanovich.
coborâm pe limbă sau ce?
Only one or two minor flaws with it. For example,
Ah.
did it not occur to you that the whale will likely be deep underwater when it ate?
Вы правы, General, but I am a strong swimmer.
E pravă, în
As a
general.
child, my parents would take us to holiday near Irkutsk, where we took constitutionals in the waters of Lake Baikal. In
Nu-mi place ce se aude
my
aici.
mother often called me her malenki morskoi kotik.
What? Ah. Hă? What? Cine era, bă? Wow! Sus! Sus!
A giant
Man.
worm for a giant whale, huh?
At the risk of repeating myself, it was huge, General.
Huge!
The Moscow University.
Nu vine în țară de
Society may
sărbători,
be
n-am
interested
cum.
After all.
Bă!
Let us take a moment, Ivan Ivanovich. Your ridiculous plan to escape through the mouth of the whale failing, you would now have me believe you had embarked on some misguided crusade to free it of the worm infestation.
Ce fain să
To what
lasă,
end,
ce
exactly?
fain să lasă pe
When
jos.
one suffers, we all
Elastic.
suffer,
Cât de
General.
elastic e solul. Wow! Am ajuns la ochi. Bine, cred că e în interiorul ochiului aici. Cumva am aflat că balena e bolnavă de la paraziția aia.
Your ideological commitment is admirable, comrade, but
I concluded that if I could find the root of the infestation and neutralize it,
Șez.
the whale could mount a spirited counterattack against the worms.
Cred că o să ajutăm balena cu paraziții ăștia. Dacă o facem bine, poate ieșim. Wow! O trecut trenul, ia fii atent, zici că e tren. Ia uite cum vine. Miau. Oh, ok. Foarte reușit.
And then, victorious, the whale would surface to expel the remaining poisonous muck and slime from its body. And at that point, I could escape through the nearest convenient orifice. In this case, most likely the blowhole.
that is the most revolting thing I've ever heard.
Henry, we are Russians.
Să scoatem toți virusii de la toți paraziții din zona asta.
Expedition through the nasal sphincter of a gargantuan whale is nothing to us.
Uite creierul aici. Vezi, acolo e creierul pe fundal. Moho. Am ajuns la creier, ia uite. Am făcut o poză aici. Jump! Uai! Ups! Bobo! Salut, Bobo! Mamă! Ups!
I suppose you would have me believe that the whale was grateful to you.
The whale!
Well, General, that would be
Salut, Bobo,
presumptuous.
salut!
I doubt it was even aware of my presence. But I had more immediate problems. For if the whale might have
More
been
immediate problems,
infections,
yes.
the worms were enraged,
Worms do
furious,
worms
incandescent,
do not feel
violently indignant,
emotions.
demented, General, deranged.
Enough!
Ups, s-a enervat General. S-a enervat the general. Wow. Not good. Not good.
Is little Orpheus? Where is my bomb? Unless you are trying to die,
Yeah.
the whale swallowed that as well.
Fugi.
General, that would be absurd.
No, Ivan Ivanovich, you
Jump.
are absurd. Your story is absurd.
Poate de sub.
This whole ridiculous fairy tale is absurd.
Fugi, jump. Și jump. Și jump. Și poate de sub. Și jump. Wow. Și poate de sub. Prinde-o. Aia e. Ta-da-da-da-da-da. Foc. Hai că e bine. Sau cam liniște aici. Ceva nu e bine.
Will our brave yet foolhardy hero escape the furious worm? Will he be doomed to spend his days trapped in the innards of a bad-tempered cetacean? Where is the whale swimming to in such a rush? And what will it do when it gets there? Is the general about to lose his temper and order the cosmonaut shot? All of these questions and more must surely be answered in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
Și gata, episodul 3. Next. The Battle of Sanikovland. Episodul 4. Asta urmează. Ups. Stai că face balena.
Flew from the whale's blowhole like
M-a
a
aruncat balena.
supersonic jet.
Ia uite,
And
cu tot
below
cu
the
vielele.
ocean became a sheltered bay studded with white shapes.
What?
You will be amazed as my epic journey unfolds.
Ori-
For here, it was about to take a
Ori reușit
most
să-și ia un-
unexpected turn. And it happened like this.
Poc. Mă, vă place, mă? Continuăm? Sau îl facem în două părți? Sunt la episodul 4 abia. Până la 9. Nu e lung. Dacă vă place, continui. Dacă nu vă place, nicio problemă. Mamă, unde am ajuns? Ce junglă și ce environment-uri erau înainte și uite acum. Ue. Uite balena, salut!
It was a beautiful but deadly wasteland. Freezing cold, brutally chilly, enough to kill a man in hours.
Yet here you are.
Indeed, General. An impoverished childhood playing in the streets of Omsk during those bitter winters had made me hardy.
I thought you said you grew up in Altai.
Ah, General, the life of a
Place,
poor
fă.
toy maker's family.
Ia uite,
We had
morse.
to move from
Ce să
place
stea,
to
morse?
place just to find work.
Foci. Oh. Îți poți imagina ce a ajuns jocul ăsta, uite-te și tu pe unde am ajuns. Salut! Uite ce faine sunt animate. Uite, am găsit un collectible. Trebuie să am grijă să mă uit la sferele alea, că sunt collectible-uri. Hai, ce vrei? Na? Râzi, a? Nu mă lași să trec, nu bine. Stai așa un pic. Stai așa, că ți arăt eu ție acum. Hai, pa. Aha. Focă proastă. Încă unul. Când joci jocul a doua oară, îți pune niște collectible-uri pe aici pe acolo și trebuie să fii atent să nu le pierzi. Ia uite, altul aici. Seamănă cu Jelly. Ce faci ai? Mă las să trec? Stai liniștit, Sorin, niciun bai. Stai tu așa că scap eu și de tine. Nu de tine, Sorin, de tine, Focă. Facem noi acum să fie bine, ia. Ia de aici. A, nu trebuia să mă arunc. Na, pe aici. Înapoi, înapoi, înapoi. Că e prea înalt. Foci. Morse. Ce-o mai fi ale. N-au nicio treabă. Eu n-am văzut foci mov până acum. Wow! Ups. Nu te pierde? Wow. Fugi, Jelly! Uite niște colți de la un mamut. Ia uite ce șmecher. Sunt niște colți de la un mamut în gheață.
Sonikov land, eh? Of course, Sonikov himself reported nothing more than a bluish fog on the horizon. Your island may be nothing more than the product of overactive imaginations.
General, consider this. Imagine taking a simple peasant, a pig shepherd, for example, and telling him one day humans would fly around the earth beyond the sky. He would say you were stark raving mad, Saldafon, a ridiculous Kaziol Baradati, a buffoon stuffed into a military uniform, a pridura, a ciucela tuparile.
This peasant of yours had better watch his mouth if he doesn't want to spend his holidays in Solovyetsky. Perhaps you should return to your story.
Look. Wow. Mai și râde. Uite un collectible. Și uite, vezi, collectible-urile astea sunt de fapt chestii de la making of. Ca să vezi cum a fost făcut jocul. Și am adunat o grămadă până acum și încă mai am. Uite mamutul din gheață.
trapped and frozen in the ice.
A mammoth.
No, General, a hairy elephant. Who would think such a thing could be?
A hairy elephant. Ia uite cât de șmecher. Ce diferență de peisaj.
Trudged onwards through the blizzard, one foot grimly in front of the other, blinded by the snow, my nose becoming quite blue, my thoughts of home crushed under the weight of the plummeting temperature.
I am bored, Ivan Ivanovich, and sick to my teeth
Și
of
că m-am
listening to
plictisit.
this rubbish.
Ia uite prin zăpadă.
Speak plainly now. You will tell me where my bomb is, or I will have you shot.
Lor ai trebuie bomba.
I am just getting to that, General.
Shot! Comrade Primal! Shot with real bullets, fired from a real gun, not some ludicrous Bultavia about lost cities and dinosaurs and mink and mammoth.
It was a hairy elephant.
No! I
Hairy
will not
elephant.
tolerate anymore!
N-a fost mamut, a fost
Where
elefant
is the
păros.
bomb, Ivan Ivanovich? Where is little Orpheus?
Hairy
Was right
elephant.
there. It was there. At least I realized it must be.
Where?
There?
On Sonic Land?
Yes, General. Because as the storm began to clear, I realized with strange excitement and trepidation that I was not alone on Sonic Land.
Yes, General, hairy elephant. Unde am mai ajuns aici? În vreun ghețar? N-am și aici. Mi-a dat o sanie.
Wait. Go back. You say these lifeboats came from Zarya? A Russian ship?
Zarya returned home, but not with all of her crew. And here were the missing lifeboats, trapped in the ice for all of these years. And it could only mean one
Ia uite
thing.
ce faine
That you are
zbărcele alea.
continuing to hang lapsha on my ears.
Am mai găsit un collectible.
I have never seen such magnificent looking creatures. Each of them bathed in the colors of a rainbow. Even on the...
Bă, ne aruncăm aici? A? Wow! Wow, ce e aici? O alt... A, uite, șalul ăsta, pluta. Hai da. Wow, ce e aia? Zici că e un păianjen nou. Ce e aia?
Baron Edward von Toll. Of course, I remember reading about his tragic expedition at school. We were taught he had died a hero's death out on the icy wastes, searching for Sanikafland. Yet what if, in doing so, he had sailed accidentally into the interior, deep below the crust of the world? A fellow citizen of the surface. I had to try and find him.
Zice că a găsit epava sau nava naufragiată a unui explorator care a plecat. Și zice că dacă din greșeală el a ajuns aici, zice, cred că ar fi bine să-l găsim. Și am impresia că ăla a furat bomba. Dacă uite că i-a găsit casca. Ups. Capcană. Ok.
A dead explorer
Ia
stole
uite-l.
my...
Not
Exploratorul ăla.
but quite
Rus, bineînțeles. Și bomba în spatele lui.
It was the loss of the arm or the leg or the long years in isolation. But Toll was clearly mad.
You should have got along perfectly then.
El a furat
How I
bomba.
wish we had, but no. Whatever Toll's intention with little Orpheus was, I had no time to consider it. I was in mortal peril once more.
Oh. Sus. Hai că poate îl prindem. Wow. Ce-am descoperit aici?
Given the meager resources available to them, the Miank had to improvise shelters as
Designurile
best
de la
they could to protect themselves from the icy wastelands. Thankfully, they didn't
tot
seem
felul
to
de
feel the
cabane pe... Ok. Wow. Nu! Oare am timp să sar unde... No, dincolo, dincolo. Ăla-i. Și am găsit ieșirea. Îți stă în cap melodia aia.
So,
Wow, uite.
you believe that Toll had somehow enslaved the Miankiv
Corabia
and
lui
bent
ăla.
them to his will?
I do, General. It was obvious.
Ia uite ce priveliște
Why
aici.
else would they serve him? And how else could they be so
Uite ce
different from
priveliște.
their freed comrades? These odd helmets they wore, it was the science of our times, no doubt about it. Although fused with some strange crystal technology I could not recognize. To be honest with you, it didn't seem appropriate to stop and ask them.
Stealthy, stealthy. Stealthy, stealthy. Fugi, 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 fugi. Dacă te ia lumina aia, te blochează și nu mai... Pa. Game over. Tuc. Am trecut. Hai să fiu atent că...
This stone. You say he was an explorer.
Yes, General, he was. He vanished some 60 years ago. I remember the story well.
And you say he
Și că a dispărut acum 60 de ani
To get
exploratorul
home,
ăla.
General. To get home. I think he must have thought he would use the atomic bomb to blast his way back to the surface.
Brilliant, Ivan Ivanovich! And you expect me to believe that a 100-year-old madman not only survived below the Earth's crust, but enslaved his Mienki,
Să se iau cutia de
explored
acolo.
the lost worlds, and discovered the secrets of atomic power, all by himself.
A Tsarist general. An imperialist. No doubt harking back to the terrible days before the Great Revolution. And Estonian.
Estonia.
Estonian general.
They are wily people.
The slave mines stretched away into the distance. And I sometimes wondered if I
Oh,
would
ce fain.
ever find my way out. But I never gave up, General.
Of course you didn't. You are a hero, Ivan Ivanovich.
Oh, îmi pierdut lumina.
General, no, I am no hero. I am a simple toymaker's son from Tomsk.
Omsk.
General?
Omsk, you said
My father once met Obruchev
Salut,
in
Sergiu.
Kazanskaya.
Tomsk.
I said Omsk.
You said Tomsk.
General, I think I am well aware of the city of my birth.
Perhaps all the moving around as a child confused you.
Wow! M-a prins. Ai văzut ce se întâmplă când te prinde? Trebuie să nu te vadă lumina aia. Că îți dă freeze. Freeze. Îți dă freeze. Trebuie să-l las să treacă. Du-te, 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 du-te. Ia să văd dacă mă duc în dreapta ăla, mă vede sau... Da, cred că nici nu pot sări până acolo. A, bă, da. Ia asta scanează stânga, dreapta. Da, n-am cum să trec de el. El nu pleacă de aici. Ok. De jos. Mai în dreapta odată. Sau în stânga. Dacă merg în stânga, dau de asta. Nu, 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 nu! Da, deci dreapta. Stânga nu-i de noi. Aici. Vine, 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 vine. Hai, 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 hai. Bă. Sus. Acum în stânga n-are rost să mă ducă la nu o să plece de acolo, deci dreapta. Pa 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 pa. Ia uite. Fuge. Fugi după el. Da, că s-a împiedicat. Na, ce ai făcut? Numai că suntem un... Ia uite. Suntem un bulgăre.
On we flew across the deserted, frozen plateau. I was single-minded in my pursuit, dogged in my determination.
N-ai văzut așa ceva până acum. Wow! Sari!
I would take back little Orpheus and prevent
Noi am
Thor
omorât pe aia,
from
bă.
detonating the bomb.
You are as humble as ever, Tavares.
Mai sărim
Well,
undeva?
General, you are a great military leader, a great strategist, whereas I am simply the humble son of a witch toy maker, and driven by patriotic fever, with no regard for my own safety. I rushed blindly on.
A, da. Fuck! Uite și melodie rusească. Hei! Nu mai scapi acum. Nu-l prind. Nu, l-am prins. Dar nu trebuie. Că n-ai cum. Traha global, o, aici a zburat. Barbaroșie, salut! Bine ai revenit, Barbaroșie. Am văzut că jucai Gold Rush mai devreme. Ce mai faci, boss? N-am jucat Raha Global, nu știu ce e, o să mă uit. Na, că am zburat. Oops. Haide mai. Not good. Not good.
Will our courageous yet unfortunate hero drown in the depths of an inhospitable frozen sea? Will he thaw out in time to prevent Tull from detonating the bomb? Will the general holiday in Omsk next year? Or Tomsk? Or perhaps both? What exactly is the difference between a mammoth and a hairy elephant? All of these questions and more should almost certainly be answered in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
Gata episodul. Îi dăm mai departe sau nu? Eu o să mănânc niște de-astea că mi-e foame. Hai mă, că nu mai e mult. Aici, episodul 5. Uite, am pierdut un collectible de pe ăsta.
I thought I was doomed, but a miraculous thing happened, General.
E genial episodul ăsta. Să vedeți ce mecanică șmecheră.
In the helmet that was jammed onto my head. It was a strange and remarkable thing.
Some might almost say beyond belief.
A narrow-minded fool may indeed, General. But of course, you are no Durak. But even as I sank towards the floor of that lost
Ce mecanică tare are
my
jocul ăsta.
journey was about to take me to darker, stranger territory than ever before. And it happened like this.
Deci uite, pot să merg. Dacă îmi sare, sare, ia uite cum sare. Uai, cât de tare, bă! Genial.
Let me see if I have this correctly. After narrowly failing to apprehend the mad missing explorer Toll and recapture my atomic bomb in your giant snowball, you fell through thin ice and sank to the bottom of a subterranean ocean, discovering along the way that the mind control helmet you had accidentally wedged onto your head enabled you to breathe underwater and resume your pursuit across the seabed.
Ia uite aici.
General, you seem perplexed.
Perplexed? Perplexed is that the keys to my house are not where I left them. Perplexed is the fact my dog will not eat cheese like other dogs. No, Ivan Ivanovich, I am not perplexed.
Trebuie să nu te atingi de alea.
I'm not sure intrigued is the correct term either.
Și-au inventat o
Enraged at
chestie
being taken for a simpleton. Now that perhaps is a better way of describing my
legată de
current state
florile
of
alea.
mind.
That is unfortunate, General.
Once again, Comrade Privalov, I must correct you. Unfortunate is losing one's car in a snowstorm. Unfortunate is booking opera tickets on your wife's birthday and getting the date wrong.
Was she furious?
That is not the...
I know I shouldn't have, but I just couldn't resist reaching out and touching the glowing delights.
Show! Furious. However, now that is
Ia
a
uite
good
ce
word.
șmecher, te pui în asta
I could speak with your wife. Would that help?
și îți dă o
I could
bulă
always have a word with her if you like.
I
ca să
could
poți urca.
always have you shot.
You could, but I suspect she would appreciate the gesture less.
cât de tare. Wow, 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 wow. Cât de tare e jocul ăsta. Bă, s-a spart. Înseamnă că nu pot să ajung acolo. Dar totuși de ce nu pot? Stai că nu e ceva bine aici. Ah, ok. Am uitat de marginea aia. Că are timp limitat boala aia, de aia nu poți să te duci cât vrei tu.
A vast monster of the sea. A giant, humongous, many-armed electrical destroyer of ships and cities.
Electrical?
Electricity flowed along its horrible body, sparking and stunning all it touched, flowing like deadly rivers along its awful tentacles.
Mamă. Tu vezi unde a ajuns jocul ăsta?
A sobering discovery. Are you suggesting that the vessel simply wandered off course and sank here? That seems unlikely even by your standards.
No, General, I only wish that were true. The mighty ship showed terrible scars. Signs of having been grappled and torn asunder by some huge and terrible adversary.
It is indeed
Uai, de
strange
cap mă
and
și acolo.
curious. I am troubled by this discovery.
Might you almost be perplexed, perhaps?
Don't push your luck.
Uităm cu un collectible. Ia uite ce chestie faină. Florile astea nu pot să trec de ele, oricât aș sări. N-am cum să ajung acolo. Dar ca să... Dacă folosesc lumina... Uite, se închid. Se închid de la lumina aia. Și pot să trec. Șmecher, nu? Treci. La fix. Mutăm lumina.
I was stationed at Cine some years ago. I am only too aware of how easy it is for the imagination to create monsters when one is exposed to lonely and dark places. My men required constant monitoring.
Much like my cousin Pavel.
He was also stationed at Ostrov?
No, he required constant monitoring. He was a devil for stealing eggs.
Wow, bani. Ia uite aici. Zici că e pirații din Caraibe?
I was referring to the fear that something is lurking in the darkness. Something strange, brutish, and ill-intentioned.
Again, that sounds much like my cousin Pavel.
Bun. Ce fain e pe aici. Aici trebuie să vină ceva. E prea gol. Meduze. E frumos, nu? Genial. Așa îmi plac jocurile astea. Și ăla cu Artful Escape și Planet... Mai am unul cu Planet Alpha, nu știu ce. La fel.
hunted. There was no doubt about it, and escape was all I could think about.
Naturally.
That and duty.
Duty?
Yes, General. After all, I had a
Ia uite
bomb
ce
to
imagine.
recover from that villain Toll.
How clever of you to remember that.
Ce imagine aici. Balena! Care de fapt e un submarin, nu e o balenă.
But first, there was the issue of escape. Escape from a dreadful, grasping creature that consumed all it could reach, dragging anything that wandered within its clutches to a miserable doom. A hoarder of useless trophies and stolen goods.
Once again, Tavarish, I suspect you are pursuing a somewhat tortuous metaphor for capitalism, in the misguided hope of appealing.
M-am curentat. Yes. Gata aici. Wow!
I was like a mouse, General. A little mouse being toyed with by a terrible cat.
Rather a wet mouse.
I was like a little underwater mouse.
Being stalked by a giant
Underwater
rubbery
mouse.
electrical cat with 8 tentacles.
Exactly, General.
Good, I'm glad we cleared that up. You may continue.
$40 de collectible-uri. Nu, nu, nu! Wow. Săritura nu mai poți controla. Nu-mi place ce văd acolo. Ia uite ce fain. Te duci până la următoarea. Și următoarea te mai împinge o tură. Hai, 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 prinde-te! Uai, la fix.
Submarines.
Ia uite aici.
You didn't mention submarines before.
Didn't I? Why? No, Naverne, General, of course. Submarines. Millions of them. Several, at least.
Any particular submarines? Did you see names, numbers?
General, have you lost a submarine?
I am not at liberty to answer that question, as you well know.
No, General, losing one's car in a snowstorm is unfortunate, as you say. But to lose a whole submarine, that could be considered careless.
Minefield. Am ajuns la submarin. Și că general ai pierdut vreun submarin și că nu pot să-ți răspund la întrebarea asta.
Well, that was painted on the hull, so I can only assume so.
I think I know where this dismal story is going next. You somehow miraculously brought the remaining closed cycle engine online, flooded the torpedo tubes, dispatched the Kraken with one shot, and triumphantly surfaced.
No, General. That is not what happened at all. I did indeed make my way to the torpedo tubes, but for a very different purpose. After all, history has taught us that atomic power is not to be toyed with.
Much like tired, impatient generals, perhaps. Particularly the perplexed ones.
Indeed, General. Or like dogs that will eat no cheese.
Ups. De ce am tras de maneta aia? De ce ai fi tras de maneta aia? Buton. S-a suit în rachetă. Na, că s-a băgat în... S-a băgat în rachetă.
Will our determined yet disorientated hero end his days as socialist sushi? Will his daring exploits be cut tragically short by vengeful calamari? Will the general's wife ever forgive him for missing Ruslan and Lyudmila? And just how many eggs did Pavel steal, and where did he keep them? All of these questions and more may or may not be answered in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
Mai urmează 6, 7, 8 și episodul bonus, dar nu o să-l facem azi. Bells of Lemuria. Hai să dăm.
I was alive, General. Somehow, miraculously, I was alive. Some twist of fate, some hand of destiny, but I was alive. Strange as this new world was, I knew Toll must have come this way, and it was my task to find him. And it happened like this. The sun beat down on me relentlessly. The
Ia uite cum trec
heat
zilele.
was unbearable. I was exhausted. Yet I could not stop. I had to go on. For 7 weeks I trudged across the desert. On the second day...
Please, comrade, if we may. I think we can skip the details, unless you consider them to be particularly relevant to the location of Little Orpheus.
Of course, General. We will simply omit the tale of the singing chasm, the oasis of mirrors, the sightings of Toll's Mienk aloft on their pterodactyls carrying parts of my crashed rocket drill over the horizon to Lemuria.
Wait, the what?
Singing chasm?
Not that, but the rocket drill.
Oh yes, General, the rocket drill. But what did Toll want with it? And why Lemuria?
Lemuria.
Lemuria, General.
I am not familiar with this Lemuria, comrade.
Well, it is because it does not exist, General. Or at least, so I thought.
Gata, au căzut. Aici zici că e pe Persia. Aici zici că e prins-o Persia. Ia uite ce tare. Ah. M-am grăbit? Dacă m-am grăbit.
Those strange crystals seem to exert an extraordinary hold over the stone blocks and arches. When they hummed, the whole city remade itself. Whereas they were missing, clearly looted by some villainous thief, the city was fallen to ruin. It was like a vast musical instrument, vandalized, and yet still attempting to toot.
Trebuie să activăm clopoții ăștia.
How poetic. I'm sure our engineers
Mai e cineva pe acolo?
and baffled in equal measure.
Vă place, nu vă place?
Department hadn't been arrested for sedition last week, I would happily convey it to their skeptical ears.
Sedition, General? Really? It's an unfortunate
Ăsta
news
cade
indeed.
înapoi.
I am joking, comrade.
Fugi. Ia uite. Wow. Trebuie să trec când e ăla ridicat ca să nu mă vadă ăsta. Acum. Mai departe.
Oh yes, the Mank for here, all right. Which meant whatever dastardly scheme Toll had, it was to be enacted on these burning sands.
And you will explain this in due course, I imagine.
Imminently, General. What you need to know first is this. I have told you already how parts of the devices the enslaved Mienk were forced to wear came from the surface.
Radio parts and so on, yes, from what you have told me. Assuming there were plenty of lost ships in the ocean as you claim, for Toll to have dredged up what he needed to assemble them.
Aha, good. You are one step ahead of me, General.
I said assuming.
Of course, assuming. Now, as I gazed in awe at the buildings rising and falling around me, I realized that the other major component of those mind-controlling helmets was crystal.
Ce mă disperă prompturile astea.
Had raided Lemuria for him. He knew the city. He knew the crystals could amplify vibrations and waves, and was using them to boost the signal of the radio parts to exert his control over the nymph. Which meant...
Yes?
Imagine, General, what such amplification could achieve when fused to the finest atomic science our great Soviet civilization has produced.
Wait,
Fugi.
I do not understand. You said Toll was planning on using the bomb to shatter the Earth's crust to return to the surface.
A tragic mistake, General. He has not recognized the extent of his mad ambitions.
You mean to imply Toll would have attempted to enslave the Russian people?
Zeppelin e genial jocul.
The will of the Soviet citizen is mighty and strong.
To you, perhaps, as a trained warrior.
Are story, are
Perhaps instead,
leveluri.
a humble son of a toy maker from
Hai mă.
Tomsk.
Ah, yes. Perhaps we have our share of simpletons, after all.
Fugi. Mi-a dat. Fugi. Hai, lasă-te. Nu. Ce mă disperă astea? Ce râde. Uităm cu un collectible. Ready for anything. Ia uite ce frumos e aici.
The vast pictograms told of a history of wonders.
Timpul.
They seem to suggest the Lemurians were travelers from another world, where a mysterious clock seemed to stand.
That is very mysterious. As mysterious as the location of little Orpheus, perhaps.
Yes, of course, General. I am just getting to that.
Ăla mă vedea oricum. Am maneta acolo. Nu! Oh, m-a văzut. So, come on. E ordine aici și trebuie să-mi aduc aminte. Ăsta aici. După aia aici. După aia... Nu pot mai sus de atât. A, bă, da. Aici. Dar de ce alunecă? Așa, și hai mai sus. Ale. Sper că e bine.
As I bravely explored that ancient city, a question was gnawing at my mind. What did it mean that the Lemurians had foreseen the coming of Tol? And who was the man from above that was celebrated as the savior of the Miengf? It was almost as if they could read the future in their crystals.
Au găsit o chestie cu... El nu vede că e despre el, cred că.
The bells of Lemuria tolled and tolled, a roaring symphony, a crescendo of peals that set the city dancing, each note causing the crystals to shimmer and cascade with light. But the sandstorm was no natural phenomenon, and the bells did not ring for celebration. Something was very wrong here.
Aside from the pterodactyls and the Miengf and the dancing stones and the ancient magical prophecies and the crystals and now the giant bells, you mean?
If you don't want me to continue, General, then I can easily just quietly go home.
Don't think Chepucha will get you out of this one, comrade.
Prompturile vieții. Aici vine un clopot care are o spărtură și trebuie să mă pun pe grămezile astea să vină spărtura să scăp. Și acum trebuie să fug la următoarea ca să scap de... Vezi, are o spărtură clopotul. Da, e destul de scurt, 4 ore. Vreau să-l termin, da. Da, e super.
I raced through those magical structures, a righteous fire in my heart. I was like the Brinya Nikic, prepared to strike at the dragon who threatened my homeland.
Your heroism is only surpassed by your modesty.
On the contrary, General, I chose the Brinya carefully. Like him, I am a simple peasant. It was fate that chose me to descend to the Earth's core.
It was General Komanian who chose you to descend to the Earth's core. But don't let that get in the way of your story.
Oh, well then, award General Polkovnik Kamanin the highest medal in the world.
He already has several of those.
I cannot take credit for his wisdom in sending me.
Fix. Oricum, e ceva cu timpul, la un moment dat se transformă toată chestia în ceva cu timpul. Auce aici. Prinț-o Persia.
It was once a rocket drill ship, built to burrow into the Earth, was now a mighty vessel, repurposed to blast off into the skies.
Ia uite, racheta. Trebuie să ajungem la timp.
There was no doubt that Toll was headed for the strange world with its
Au pus
core.
bomba în rachetă și vrea să distrugă pământul sau...
But there was no time to consider, no time for questions.
Vrea să distrugă planeta sau pământul cu bomba aia. Că se simte el... Bă!
Toll was on the rocket. Little Orpheus was on the rocket. And wherever they were headed, I must head
S-a
there
prins,
too,
mă, s-a
to
prins, ia
thwart
uite.
his plans, recover my drill, and save the world!
S-a prins de rachetă.
Will our enthusiastic yet disorientated hero be burnt to a cinder by the rocket's engines? Will he be smashed into the rock that surely must be beyond the Lemurian skies? Does Nikolai Petrovich Kamanian really need any more medals? What was the strange clock? And what could it all mean? All of these questions
O să aveți parte de o
and
surpriză în
more
episodul
will be
următor.
answered if you're extremely lucky in the next exciting episode of Little Orpheus!
Episodul 7. Deci mai avem 7, 8 și... 7 și 8. Cam acolo se termină. 9-le nu știu dacă îl fac azi. E bonus episod. E cu totul. Bun, hai cu episodul 7. Cum plutea el așa prin spațiu. Hopa. Nici nu vă așteptați voi cine vine. Laika!
Laika!
Are
Katsawa.
you stark raving mad?
Laika Katsawa.
It was Laika! I am sure of it! That spirited little dog saved me!
Laika saved you in her little space machine.
I believe the correct term is capsule, General.
Don't push your luck any further, Ivan Ivanovich. I fear it might snap.
Oh, my apologies, General. In my excitement to explain what I discovered on the far side of the Metagalacticus Interiorus, I got carried away. And it happened like this.
Cum rezistă? Nu știu, nu l-am întrebat.
A rocky moon at the center of the Earth.
The source of all creation, General. A place where time flowed like rivers. and boulders of raw matter rained like comets upon the cratered rock.
Another miraculous escape from death. Another happy accident.
It was no accident, General. Laika took me there entirely deliberately, I'm sure of that. She continues to be a heroine and a savior and protector of our great nation.
Hot Wheels e fain, mi l-am luat și eu. Chiar l-am instalat. Dar n-am apucat să joc decât o cursă, două. Cum fac eu cu toate jocurile mele. Mi le iau joc în 5 minute și pe aia mă opresc.
Laika died in orbit.
No, General, she did not. She's very much alive and happy, and currently living several miles below our feet.
Laika is dead, Ivan.
She most certainly is
Whoa.
not, General.
This is the real world, Tavarish. A world where you did not go to the center of the Earth, and Laika died in orbit.
In my world, General, Laika is still alive.
A better world, some may argue. Very well. I will live in your world for a while longer, but time is running out.
Ah, yes, time, General. I was just coming to that.
El zice că in my world, Laika is alive.
There in the distance,
Cred că începe să-l
it
creadă că e
stood,
nebun.
enveloped in a mighty time storm. The world clock, General. The beating
și
heart
că ceasul
of all
lumii.
history. The axis mundi, the pillar of the world.
Not enough to conquer Russia by drilling back to the
Seamănă
surface
cu
with his
Kremlinul.
magical mind controlling atomic radio set then.
No, General. You see, what if he could fuse little Orpheus directly with the world clock? Then his message would radiate with every tick and every tock. He would not simply be the Tsar. He would be the Tsar of all time, the eternal tyrant, the literal incarnation of everything our glorious revolution stood to overthrow.
Zice că vrea să lege bomba atomică la timpul lumii. Și cu fiecare tic-tac să face nu știu ce wave. Și acum la fiecare bătaie a clopotului de la timp ceasul ăla, noi intrăm într-un fel de altă dimensiune să salvăm timpul. Sau ceva de genul. Și în episoadele astea scurte vedeți chestii din tot jocul. Cum plutesc așa în timp. Foarte șmecher făcut. Uite sabia cu bomba, asta Sania cu bomba. Uite corabia pe spate. Corabia aia pe fundal. Uite morsele. Tot ce s-a întâmplat în joc până acum apar aici, în dimensiunea asta. Și uite, am găsit prima componentă. Trebuie să găsesc vreo 6 de astea sau nu știu câte. Aoleu, fugi.
The terrain was ferocious. Explosive eruptions of fire and heat. Thunderous emissions and lethal gases.
Much like your cousin Pavel,
Fugi,
perhaps,
fugi.
as a result of consuming all of those stolen
Fugi, sari.
eggs.
General, you have been listening after all.
Se și vede unde trebuie să sari, că e pământul alb. Wow! Mai și râde. fain cu jump-ul ăsta mai mare așa. Luăm vânt. Wow! Am mai dat un bang și iară mă trimite în...
Agartha again. But why?
You are stalling, comrade. The clock is ticking.
Tick-tock, tick-tock! Of course! In a flash of inspiration, I understood. It was all wrong, you see, General.
That we can agree on.
We should never have gone to the center, because without little Orpheus, Toll could not have become the tyrant he had. The rocket drill was his means to reach the world clock, but it was little Orpheus that enabled him. And the time itself, the world clock itself, was determined to make
Și că nu
matters
trebuia
right.
deloc
With
să
a
venim
little help
aici.
from you, of course.
Merely a simple pawn in a game played upon a cosmic scale, General. But a pawn who understood that he was being given a second chance to grab a chunk of the explosive resin that wondrous city was built upon. And I was back. The mighty river of time roared past me, carrying the weight of the whole of history with it.
Even for you, this is a stretch. Our time is almost
Ah,
up. I have to
And I was back. The mighty river of time
I'm
roared
sorry.
past me, carrying the weight of the whole of history with it.
Even for you, this is a stretch. Our time is almost up. I have to submit my report within the hour.
Time, General. Time was nearly up indeed. That ancient and magical river that carried me along was surely moving inevitably towards some kind of end.
mamă ce... Uită-te ce fundali. Cu cheile care se învârt. Sunt chei care se învârt pe fundal. Ia uite ce level, mă, și ce... Ia uite ce e aici.
Enough. No more Privalov. No more stories. No more lost worlds and space dogs. I'm full of it. It is nearly midnight, and you have not given me the adequate explanation for the whereabouts of little Orpheus and the atomic bomb.
But, General, I am about to tell you what happened when I finally caught up with the villain Toll.
I do not care, Tavarish. I simply
Tavarish.
do not care. You have worn me down, and it is time to call a halt to this. I bear you no malice, comrade. In many ways, I admire you, but time is running out.
Yes, General, yes. Time. Because it was time itself that suddenly appeared to be on my side.
Încă un shockwave. Trebuie să ajungem să ne întâlnim pe ăla care are bomba. Să ne înfruntăm.
Perhaps the world clock was so impressed with your egg-wearing antics it decided to return you to Plutonia for a second attempt. I would strongly suggest you cut to the chase.
The chase, yes. The pursuit of Toll and little Orpheus. I stood there with the resin fragment in one hand and the blasting cap in the other, and then, just like that, a clock began to ring.
The world clock?
No, General, an alarm clock. My Slava alarm clock, in fact, given to me by Auntie Marsha.
The one who married the beef investigator.
The very same. And the moment I saw that clock, I knew what I had to do.
The clock. Parcă visa și s-a trezit.
I'm waiting.
A bomb, General. A bomb to destroy a bomb.
So, you decided to build a bomb. Eh?
O bombă ca să distrugă altă
to
bombă.
destroy little Orpheus.
It was a simple plan, really, General.
Yes, you are very fond of your simple plans.
Mamă.
It was the last time
Uite,
I was
fraierul e
to see
acolo.
those poor enslaved men on my journey. As they scurried in agitation around the base of the rocket drill, now a dreadful weapon of war in the hands of a madman, I was reminded of my mother.
Your mother looked like a nymph? That is extremely disrespectful, comrade.
No, I meant I was raised by my mother from an early age, of course. My childhood memories of my father were all too brief.
You are rambling, comrade Privalov. Time is running out. Dieni Rezinovi.
Time will run out for us all, General, will it not? And it ran out for my father on the shores of Volga.
Your father fought at Stalingrad?
He did, General.
So did I.
Well, so you see, General. Perhaps we are just the same, you and I. Perhaps we are all just Menkf in the end.
Ne apropiem, ne apropiem.
What possible use in the construction of a bomb could be found in the belly of a giant whale? Were you perhaps planning on using a worm as a fuse?
That would be ridiculous.
Vezi, s-a dat
I would
timpul.
hate to undermine your otherwise entirely plausible account.
You forget, General. The belly of the beast was full of shipwrecks. And on one of them, I was bound to find what I was looking for. Fuse wire.
Comrade, yes, you'd forgotten all about the fuse until I reminded you, hadn't you?
General, your cynicism is unbecoming to a man of your rank and stature.
Bă,
The
ce e
clock
aici?
was now ticking, General. Literally. I was surrounded by time, immersed in it, floating along a river of it on a raft made of history, seeking the next moment of opportunity to hurtle backwards amongst those lost worlds.
I am a patient man, Tavarish. I lost 3 toes in the winter outside Sharkovskaya in 42. A drunken dentist
pierdut
removed
3
2
degete
frostbitten
în
toes and
frigul
one
de la-
perfectly healthy one. You may therefore consider me a man blessed with an uncommon level of endurance for discomfort.
I hate visiting the dentist. My uncle Vanya was a dentist, and he was a deeply strange man, notwithstanding the love he felt for his pigs.
Is what?
He was a pig dentist, General. He always claimed that the human mouth presented an insufficient challenge.
Let me
No.
challenge you, comrade.
Wow.
You will tell me what happened to little Orpheus. My patience is exhausted. I am done.
But we are nearly there, General. The world clock was shortly to
Ceva nu e regulă cu ordinea de aici. Deci Haidi Pa asta. Nu, Nu, așa trebuia pe aia la altă. Pe asta, așa. Hai jos. Și acum unde? Eu nu știu dacă trebuie să mă duc în sus sau în jos. Dar dacă mă arunc eu? Nu mai știu ordinea. A, gata și... Asta era. Acum e nașpa, că e contratimp totul. Totul e contratimp înapoi. Uite aici. Sper să-mi iasă din prima. Ăla a fost. Și ajungem la palatul vieții. Boom, încă un flash.
And so to the ocean floor, and that strange submerged city, and those poor lost vessels. To find a shell case to hold all of my scavenged ingredients, the last piece I needed to construct my bomb.
Ah, yes, I have been waiting for this.
General?
Time, Ivan Ivanovich. Whilst you have rambled on and
Vrea
on
să
about
facă un...
it, I have simply
Vrea să
bided
facă un
mine.
time bomb.
I am a patient man, as I have said.
Yes, I don't feel I paid enough attention to the story about your toes. Do you have specially made shoes?
Enough! Now I have your full attention.
Își pierde răbdarea asta.
Indulge me, Tavares. Explain to me how you made this bomb.
General?
Your bomb, comrade, that you so brilliantly constructed to destroy little Orpheus. Tell me how you made it.
Well,
In detail. The type of detail that should present no problem to a man who is actually capable of building a bomb, which I suspect would be an entirely different man to one who cheated on his entrance exams for the cosmonaut program. You are uncharacteristically silent, comrade. Cat, got your tongue?
if I may, General, perhaps just a minute or two to gather my thoughts?
There are precious few minutes left. We have reached our conclusion, I think.
Yes, we have, General. I gazed up at the world clock and knew I had arrived at my destination. Whatever lay inside would see my journey end one way or another. But I had no idea of the marvels that awaited me. And it...
The bomb, Ivan Ivanovich! Tell me how you built the bomb!
It was a wonderful sight. The world...
It is 2 minutes to midnight, Ivan.
Oops.
It is time to end this story.
Și acum ultimul episod. Pillar of the World.
Let us recap.
The End imediat.
3 years ago, you were sent to the center of the Earth as part of a top-secret mission to ensure the delivery of little Orpheus, an atomic-powered capsule. You promptly vanished until you casually wandered up to Molodiyozhnaya station 3 years later, claiming to have saved the world, but lost little Orpheus in the process. Is this correct?
Yes, General, it is, but...
You are charged with many crimes against the state, including desertion, lying to a superior officer, and sedition. Any one of these charges bears the punishment of execution by firing squad.
Mamă. Am ajuns în palatul ăla. Trebuie să ajungem în top.
General, you must be reasonable. I did my best. It's all true, I swear. I swear upon the lives of my family.
Oh, do you? Auntie Marcia and Uncle Vanya, the traveling tinker and the pig dentist, or perhaps Cousin Pavel, the criminal mastermind with the unhealthy taste for eggs. How stupid do you think I am, Comrade Devalov?
Sudayu, it is all true.
Maybe your toy maker, or was it watchmaker, father, who apparently taught you all he knew, despite being killed when you were less than 5 years old.
I was a fast learner?
You have precisely 1 minute to convince me not to summon the guards, and have you shot on the spot.
Summon the guards.
A lifetime. It's all I need, General.
Haide. Haide.
I was astounded. My father, I
Ce mai-
told you,
uităm mai mecanismul
think I
aici.
told you, he was a toy maker, and he often played with clockwork parts.
Tavariș.
But this made all those childhood wonders pale into
Pare că tot ce e în
insignificance.
capul lui a fost...
And it
Jocul
was
ăsta a
fortunate
fost tot
for
ce e
me
în
that
capul lui.
my
Pare că nu e
uncle-
adevărat nimic.
My uncle...
Vanya, the pig dentist?
No, my other uncle, Sasha, had taken me mountaineering in the Urals during my childhood, for it was only by scaling these giant mechanical parts that I would reach little Orpheus.
Yes, I had been thinking that it seems awfully convenient that you were such an accomplished climber. I don't, however, recall any mention of this Uncle Sasha in your file.
He was a very private
He was
man.
a very unlikely man.
That was Uncle Sasha's blessing and his curse.
Ce fain e făcut asta. Cu roțile astea. Bișu. Pe amândouă. Pam. Oh. Whoa.
Those great wheels and cogs clashed and boomed. The vast hands of all time crunching forever and ever around.
Ivan Ivanovich.
Pendulums and springs and great big wheels and tiny little wheels.
Товарищ Privalov, stop!
Though at least the Mength were not here, especially as they seemed to infest the world below the surface. Mength everywhere. Mength. Many Mength. Mength aplenty. Mength.
You are babbling, comrade. Enough.
Mamă, ce e aici? Ne apropiem de the end. Ia uite, pendulele aici. Ce mari sunt. No! Ma! Hai mă, sari când... Mă! Am zis că n-am murit deloc și uite, mor la urmă aici. I-am zis să sari. Așa.
But where was Toll? Aha! High above, on the clock face, perhaps, with his radios and his crystals.
Mom.
If I could just reach him, I could use the bomb.
There is no bomb. You have no idea how to make a bomb. You have no idea about how to do anything one might actually expect of a cosmonaut.
The bomb?
Ivan Ivanovich!
General?
Time is up.
Time is up.
Stop talking, Tavarish. You don't know what happens next. It is obvious.
You've done very well. I applaud you for your efforts and your story. It is a wonderful tale, Comrade Privalov. I have enjoyed it immensely. But every story needs an ending.
I know a great deal about cloaks as a result
Ia
of my
uite
upbringing.
mecanismul.
You
And it is clear yours does not have one.
I just need more time.
I think that even if I gave you all the time in the world, it would not be enough.
No, General. I can do this. That is, I remember what happens next. I just need to catch my breath and compose myself.
We both know how this story ends, comrade.
But little Orpheus, you haven't heard what happened.
We will find out soon enough.
We will find out.
You will be
soon enough.
executed, and another expedition will be sent.
No, you cannot. You cannot. We must never go back. You don't understand.
Make me, then. Make me understand.
Make me
I
understand.
am a kind man, although you may not believe this. I do not want to have you shot.
So help me. Make me understand. Tell me what
Episodul
happened
bonus e
to
lunguț.
little Orpheus.
E lunguț așa, dar o să văd, poate îl fac și pe ăla. E o chestie
It was...
Ivan
ciudată,
Ivanovici?
un pic
was-
diferită de povestea asta. E cumva ce s-a întâmplat după, dar o să vedem.
No. I'm sorry, General.
Gata, a obosit.
I'm sorry, I have no idea. You are right.
Nu mai știe ce s-a întâmplat.
I simply cannot think what happened next. It's just a blank, General. There's nothing there. I am very tired, you see.
Comrade Rivanov. Ivan.
You're right. It's over, General. Perhaps you would be so kind as to write to my mother for me.
Of course I will.
You are a kind man, as you have said. And, General,
Yes, Ivan.
was it a good story?
Oh, yes. It was an excellent story.
Thank you, General. I am just sorry I couldn't give you an ending.
Unless...
General?
Quiet, Tovarish. I am thinking. Unless... I seem to remember that there were many problems with little Orpheus during production.
General?
Problems with the casing around the
Și
atomic
că, și că erau niște probleme în producția la
Concerns?
mina aia.
Yes, concerns. Unlikely though that might be. Yeah, it seems if I remember that it failed to secure properly.
Și că
A
dacă
sharp
țin minte, a
blow
fost o
could
problemă la
spring the
capsula
hatch
aia.
and expose the fragile casing of the bomb to any would-be vandal.
I'm not sure I follow.
Și că are o parte foarte vulnerabilă expusă la loviri.
Take advantage of that fact.
But how, General? Where would I find
Poate să
something to
distrugă
strike it with?
The son of a watchmaker would easily find something within a giant clock mechanism that resembled a hammer, surely.
A hammer? Why,
Trebuie să găsim
yes,
un ciocan.
General. I do remember now. I grasped the hammer-shaped thingamabob.
Let's just agree.
Shape
it was a
thingamabob.
Yes, of course. Let's do that. I recovered my senses, shook my head, and looked about me. In my distracted stupor, I had climbed further up the tower than I ever thought possible. In front of me was the clock
L-a
face,
ajutat să-și
and
aducă aminte
I gazed
povestea sau...
out through it at the sheer expanse of history. And I knew whatever happened next...
The hand of destiny had fallen upon your shoulder.
Yes, it had. And what an extraordinary hand it was.
Gata, ne întâlnim cu bossul. Am un singur shot la treaba asta. Hai da. Hai da și... Și n-am sărit când trebuie. Vreau să mai aștept un pic. N-am sărit când trebuie. Ah. Ok. A căzut bine, a căzut bine. Boom! Shakalaka! What people I want! A făcut buba.
And so, Tol was defeated. Little Orpheus destroyed, the bomb lost forever.
Not just that, General. In that moment, time sprung back to its proper shape, and I found myself once more in Plutonia, as the start of my journey. But the wound in the interior sky was gone. The drill was gone. It was as if I had never been here. And they were nymph, free and happy, without the tyranny of toll, free to pursue their simple lives.
But we can never go back?
Never, General.
Și pe ăsta l-au închis la dinozauri.
One metal sphere, one lone cosmonaut was nearly enough to destroy time and unleash the tyrant toll upon our world. Who would think an innocuous beeping radio housed in a ball of metal could change the world so dramatically?
Who indeed? But tell me, what of you? And what of your return to the surface?
I stayed amongst the Mienk for as long as I could. But I came to realize they had
I-au
begun
făcut
to
statuie.
worship me as a king. No, General. I am a good socialist and could not allow this workers' paradise to become corrupted. And so I left that wonderful land for the last time.
And then?
And then I walked. For 2 years I wandered, always looking for a way home, through lands and worlds almost beyond imagination. Until one day I emerged, blinking into sunlight, and realized I was home.
Until one day I emerged, just like that? You just found your way back to the surface?
Well, General, it was a little more complicated than that. There were great obstacles to overcome and terrible challenges to face and incredible lands to explore.
Enough, Ivan. Little Orpheus is lost forever. The interior is sealed. You have returned with a story of socialism, triumphing over incredible odds. It is, as I said, enough for one night. Enough for my report, at least.
General, if I may...
Comrade Ivan Ivanovich Privalov, you are found guilty of all charges brought against you and sentenced to execution by firing squad.
Na, că l-au condamnat la execuție.
Having listened to your story,
Dar ci că ascultând povestea ta,
quite mad.
cred că ești nebun.
In other words, I find your madness guilty, not you.
Și de
And we
fapt,
cannot
nebunia ta e
execute
de vină,
madness.
nu
And
tu. Și
indeed,
nu o să
there are
executăm
lessons to
nebunii.
be learned, even in the depths of this madness. Perhaps the Americans were right to send the chimp after all.
So, General...
Out of my sight,
Și
Ivan.
că poate americanii au avut dreptate și au trimis cimpanzeul.
Enjoy a state pension as a madman. Just make sure I never see you again.
Yes,
Bucură-te de
of
pensia
course,
de nebun.
General. Anything you say. I shall be small and quiet and live a life without excitement and...
Out!
Și că bucură-te de pensia de nebun.
Until one day I just emerged. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Very good, tovarăș. Very good indeed.
Nu l-a crezut, a zis că e nebun. Tot ce ați văzut până acum zice că e nebunia lui. Nebunia lui Salam. Da, ăsta a fost jocul. Și mai are un epilog. Cu Laika. Na, și mai este episodul bonus, care e destul de lung. Nici nu știu cât e ceasul. E 3. Hai să zic o oră. E cumva ce a mai făcut el până după treaba aia, până... Dar are o chestie nașpa la urmă de tot și sper să-mi iasă. Hai să vedem. Îl facem și pe ăsta dacă tot e. Asta e cumva de episodul epilog. S-a retras omul la țară cu
Who's the best
Laica.
space dog? Oh, где моя хорошая, хорошенькая моя, ты просто космическая. Hey, who's the best hairy cosmonaut? It is indeed a lovely
Ce față are.
sunset. And it
Seamănă
reminds
cu
me of the
Lex.
skies of Peru. I didn't? I never told you about the wonderful Sky City? Well, it was
Vreau
an
să văd dacă mai e pe
extraordinary
live.
place, but one filled with dangers. Well, it might have been simple for you to cross it, but you were in a space capsule. I had to rely on my own 2 feet, my noshki. Feet which, I might add, had just crossed the interior, beaten the villain Toll, and helped inspire the Myank to a workers' revolution. Oh, that's all very easy for you to say, but your idea of civilized behavior is licking your own bottom in public. No. My adventures above the clouds were filled with untold dangers, death-defying escapes, and some really quite extraordinarily large bielaribița. And it happened like this.
Aventurile lui deasupra norilor. Deci toată chestia asta e undeva în alt fel de... Undeva în alt fel de locații.
Weeks had passed since I left Plutonia, and one evening, exhausted, I simply fell asleep at the foot of a strange windmill. And when I awoke,
E foarte fain, arată foarte fain episodul. Dar n-am prea înțeles eu la ce se referă. De ce l-au făcut?
this is besides the point, my nosy canine friend. What matters is this. When I awoke, the windmill and the ground around it had been carried high into the air. What magic was this? Что за магия? As unlikely, perhaps, as a suitcase-sized dog orbiting the center of the Earth for many years. Quite.
Mamă, ce fain.
Quick as a flash, Kakmonia, my training leapt into play, and I began to paddle the strange contraption through the clouds in search of answers. It is entirely possible that a miller who owns a windmill capable of levitating high into the air may also own a flying machine. Oh, now you're just being silly. May I continue my recounting of how I sailed over the sky gardens towards the mystical city of
The
Peru?
Sky Gardens.
Oh, I must, my moi ușati drug. I must.
Acum nu poți să știi. A fost nebun, nu-i nebun, tot ce-a zis. Dar oricum sunt foarte bine făcută chestiile astea. Hai da. The Sky Gardens. Aici sărim și... Oh, ce fain ne aruncă unde trebuie. A, pot să ridic cu spațiu. Prinde-te, prinde-te, prinde-te! Buf. Uite, încă un colectiv
Powerful
aici.
emanations! What mighty gusts! What an epic squall! They reminded me of Cousin Pavel, yes! But whereas his rearward zephyrs could curdle milk and tarnish the teaspoons, these magical wafts only serve to
Comentariile
carry
lui
me aloft and onwards.
Epice. Stai câte să țin. S-a întâmplat ceva? Mi-a dat flow.
But
I'm
something
on
was
the
afoot in the
flow.
gardens of Perun. This horrid muck staining the surfaces and making my nose curl. Yes, it was positively pavilion in scent. But it did not belong here.
Pavilion incense.
I think I once told you of Auntie Masha's passionate encounter in a cable car with the manganese entrepreneur from Chiatura. Now, Auntie Masha told me that there was a disagreeable stain and smell all around those factories and smelting works. Our industry is not without its dangers. Could it be that the once bucolic gardens of Perun were being corrupted by unchecked pollution? After all, science is a double-edged sword, my bristly confidant. Consider Zemikov. Of course. I apologize. Прошу прощения. Two-headed dogs is perhaps a rather insensitive analogy, but not without justification in this instance. I have seen the blemished lands around Norilsk, but I could not believe that I would find such pollution here. But this was nothing to the true horror of what was shortly to unfold.
Pollution. Ia ce fain e pe acolo. Episod bonus. Ia uite cum se aude pe balon. E foarte fain făcut jocul. Wow!
That terrible,
Fudge.
straszная machina, spewing its poison into the air, had created a monstrous thing. A being. A malignant spoiler of the noble and pure. And it had taken on the form of its prey. Well, of course. Ну, конечно, I was the prey.
Nu, конечно.
The citizens of Perun had clearly long
Конечно.
since fled the evil.
Văd că v-ați pierdut interesul că ați plecat deja.
I inadvertently wandered into
Da,
its
asta e, eu îl
lair.
termin și asta e.
Oh, I know. Misfortune seemed to dog. Oh, sorry.
Nu vă
I
place
do
să vedeți o
apologize.
poveste până la
To
capăt.
follow my every footstep. But no time to ponder, no time to bemoan the hand that fate had dealt me. No. All that was on my mind was escape, конечно. Yes, it was most interesting. The windmill seemed to be from an earlier age. Perhaps this was a devastating warning of the destructive power of unfettered industrialization. I most certainly had not forgotten about the windmills. I did not get carried away. You are missing the point. Perhaps because you are only a small dog. Oh, a brilliant, brave, spacefaring dog, of course, but a small Sabashka nonetheless. If you perhaps listened more and interrupted less, I am just getting to the explanation of the windmills.
Îmi plac ideile astea cu curenții ăștia așa. Oh, iar ăla.
My stinking nemesis was back. But more interesting was the change in the city.
Hai, oprește.
The windmills were fading out, clearly obsoleted, mothballed, relics. Instead, a sense of an obsession with power was apparent. Vast engines, terrible machines, ever hungry and reliant on the rapid consumption of fuel, the production of toxic fumes and choking gases. Pride, my pushisti compadre, pride, ambitia, ambition, the dark side of science. Zemechov's had too many. Don't be ridiculous, dog. Only a Durak with the intellectual capacity of a ringworm would think windmills are in any way harmful.
Ce 3D fain. Combinat cu... Ceva se întâmplă deasupra. Ia uite ce frumusețe. De la ce a început jocul ăsta și la ce a ajuns. A, m-a prins. Sau, poate că trebuie să fug întâi de el. Ce, vine după mine? L-a luat taburul. L-a luat taburul și l-a omorât. Ciudat. Nu știam că se poate face așa. Și să vezi că eu nu mai pot ajunge acolo. Ba da. Acum ți-a că mai apare odată. Dar eu am dat de roata asta. Probabil a murit în alt fel. Așa, s-a schimbat sensul. Ce fain e să mergi pe balonul ăla.
Of course, you never had much of a chance to travel. Sarcasm doesn't suit you. You don't have the tail for it.
Wow.
You do, at least, have a tail. Mind you, family gossip maintained that so did Uncle Rabliem, although it was apparently little more than a stub, and a source of considerable discomfort and social anxiety for him. The question of whether or not Uncle Rabliem wagged his stub is very much off topic.
Deja s-a schimbat
What
culoarea.
I'm trying to say is that your upbringing on the streets of Moscow meant you never saw the blackened fields of Magnitogorsk, the sacrifices made by the valiant citizens of that industrial heartland, as they drowned in their own blight, even as they powered
Ia
the
uite ce e
state
aici, ce poluare
forwards.
aici.
I was reminded of Magnitogorsk as I wandered through those fields of pipes and foundries.
Fields
And I
of pipes
wept
and
for the loss of
foundries.
innocence that so often goes hand in hand with progress.
Wow, ce fain. Ups. Fugi. Fugi. Hai mă, acum te doare piciorul. Acum. Hai, revinut. Dă-ți heal. Zici că-s din Bioshock. Dă-ți heal.
Indeed! I just evaded the slimy, oily grasp of that man-made Vadzinoi, his petroleum stink clogging my nostrils and making my head thump. And I felt a great stirring within me. Yes, much like I assume Cousin Pavel. May he never get loose again. But no, quite different. This was no volcanic upbubbling of gastric malintent. No, it was the roaring fires of justice once more ignited within me. I felt a swell of patriotic fervor and knew the hand of destiny had fallen on me once more. Yes, what a hand it was! I could not see this great wonder sink into an abyss of poison and bile. The Perunians may have been forced to abandon their city, but I had saved the world once before and was ready to answer the call again.
Yes. Oricum, ultima fază e nașpa. Am făcut-o de câteva ori până să o învăț. Sper să-mi iasă măcar din a doua. Mai avem de plimbat o țără pe aici. Steaua sovietică.
What strange metal
Ia uite niște pești mecanici. Uai, ce fain.
I was amazed. And there was more. Beneath the fins, I spotted the apertures of hoses and was reminded of the time Auntie Agrafina devised a contraption to water all of her copious algae beds simultaneously with one flush of the toilet by a system of pipes and valves that ran throughout her house. Можно так сказать, in a manner of speaking, yes. Her algae were most irrigated, although her neighbor Victor was washing his trousers in the sink at the time and was bruised quite severely about the face and body. But these were no ordinary flying metal fish. They were designed to expel air, fresh air, and push back the polluted clouds.
Ce că erau buni pești aia. Depoluau cumva atmosfera. Cine a făcut peștii aia?
There is, of course, a fine tradition of looking to nature to solve problems of a scientific or military persuasion. Yes, as you well know. My nephew, Sergei... Yes, the very same. Poor lad with his dermatological eruptions. Well, Sergei was stationed recently at Kazachya
Sergei?
where dolphins were being trained as brilliant aquatic agents of socialism. Why not then be inspired by marine life? Why, there is a fish, I have heard, that can shoot jets of water from beneath the surface to knock its prey off little tiny twigs and into its mouth. If you were to tell the average mushroom sheriff that a dog would orbit the earth, I suspect you would receive a similarly sneering response.
Manetă.
No, that is because you are a small, hairy hound of uncertain parentage. I, on the other hand, am a cosmonaut, the product of many months of training, and I realized the answer to pollution was here all along. The Baronians, tragically, had simply never had time to finish their fleet. If only I could find a working, flying fish. If only. If only. Yes.
Uite, mă arunc aici și ăla mă aruncă în col. Șmecher. Tot mai sus.
It made perfect sense, of course. The poisonous tuhata that engulfed Perun was like a nasty cold. And you know what to do with a cold to rid yourself of it. You may not get colds, but nor can you operate pea-shelling machinery. So, don't get ideas above your station. We humans, on the other hand, may produce up to 16 million perfectly unshelled peas in an average shift. But we are martyrs to our sinuses. But clearly,
Whoa.
aha! These are remedies we Russians have been perfecting over the long centuries of harsh
Biruța.
winters. Onions. A quick
ninth
snifter of
hole mi-a
onion
dat
oil will
achievement.
clear your head faster than a Pragviev can clear a hypothetical minefield. Yes, if I could find a functional fish, I would become that onion.
Unde mă duce? Zice că dacă aș găsi un pește funcțional, practic să mergem undeva în atmosferă și să distrugem mașinăria aia care poluează sau norii aia sau ceva. Asta se gând, tot zice el acum. Că vremea asta se poate schimba cumva. Bun, aici alea două curg. Hai să închidem întâi. Asta-i dă drumul ăla. Asta le închide pe alea două. Gata. Boom. 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 Bineînțeles că trebuie să vin undeva la exact când mă doare pe mine piciorul.
I was close. I could feel it. Yes, yes, the working fish, the ribka. I could feel I was at the heart of Perun.
Hai, hai,
and
hai,
my
hai, hai.
noxious pursuer
Când
had
ajunge el
renewed
acolo
its
să ia
chase
freză.
with a terrible vigor.
Nu-mi plac ăstea în care te aleargă cineva. Păi el nu-l afectează. Păi el nu-l afectează, corect așa?
Not far now. I just had to keep going, keep pushing. It's almost as if you knew, Pavel. Uncanny. troubles yet. There she was. A beautiful sight. Her scales shimmering in the
Ia
sunlight.
uite aici.
Her fins poised for action. Her onion cannons primed for a great aerial conflict unseen in the annals of human endeavor. And you are just jealous it was a bigger flying machine than yours. No, Bilious Pow. It was time for science to fight back. Yes, my hairy compatriot. Aici, onwards to victory!
Asta e ultima fază, mi se pare. Dar e nașpa de tot aici. E nașpa de tot aici, sper să-mi iasă. Să nu fac de 1000 de ori. Trebuie să controlez peștele și să contracarezi vremea. Și n-ai voie să te lovești decât de 2-3 ori maxim. Și mai vine și nu. Trebuie să înveți un pic, să învăț un pic pattern-ul, că e... S-a terminat. Are un tipar pe care dacă îl înveți un pic, scapi. Și tot timpul ia de la capăt, asta mă disperă. Știu că vine una în mijloc. Una în mijloc, două în părți. Una aici, una aici. Mă disperă astea. Cred că trebuie să le înveți la de rost. Nu! Na, m-a atins odată. Hai. Dar nu ți-e minte să fie așa. Și mai are o fază și dacă mai trec și de asta. Ah! Nu! Freaking nu! Mai trebuia... Că liniile alea nu-ți arată unde vin, îți arată... Să stai între liniile astea. Uite, el îți arată linia, dar când se îngustează liniile alea, nu. Uah. Ia aici. Acum trebuie să am grijă. Hai, mai bine să-ți mai dau o tură. Și acum trebuie să am grijă, acum. Trebuie să am grijă. Că faci liniile alea. Oi. Ridică-te! Treci! Stai aici. Și acum dă-i. Yes!
It was a miracle. I found myself swooping through beautiful clear skies, the strange interior sunlight gleaming on the sides of my fishy vessel. I heard birds clear their little throats and begin their wondrous gvalt, the wind gently humming on the fins. And then, all of a sudden, under it all, well, you see, in my hurry, it didn't even occur to me to check how much fuel was carried in the strange craft.
A rămas fără fuel.
With a horrible splutter, the engines choked and died. Then suddenly we were plummeting downwards towards our doom. I did not. A simple mistake that many have made. Why, my Aunt Agrafina met her untimely demise being late for a fungal sculpting seminar and making exactly the same error. Only, unfortunately, it left her stranded in sub-zero temperatures just outside Pravachitsinski. She wasn't found until 18 years after her own funeral, but was perfectly preserved. Remarkable, really. It is beside the point, yes. So, there I was. My fabulous ship had become a terrible prison. I was hurtling to my almost certain death. My triumph turned to tragedy. But then... well, you know what happened next. Even so, moi magnati drug, that is a story for another time. A most extraordinary story, of course, filled with dangers and wonders, and canals, and invasions, and strange doorways to other worlds. But perhaps too long a story for now.
Asta îți dă de înțeles că urmează o continuare, că el mai are cică povești.
Time for soup. Auntie Agrafina's
Mai are povești de zis.
Coming?
Și gata, copii. Asta a fost Little
I think
Orpheus.
you really did have a happier time in Peru. The benefits of being a suitcase-sized dog in a little space machine, perhaps. Yes, the correct term is indeed capsule.
El nu tace
As I told
nici măcar pe genericul de la final nu tace din gură. Tot are de povestit, tot mai are ceva de zis.
He's thinking of retiring, he says. Yes, and moving to Bashkiria to nurture bees. Bees? Surprised me too. I thought if animal husbandry was to be his passion, it would be a large, manly animal like elk, or bears, or a caban. Perhaps the bees he is thinking
Ia uite toată
of
orchestra pentru
particularly militaristic.
jocul ăsta a avut propria orchestră.
Or stingy, yes. Did you want bread with your soup? In which case, there's half a tin of old beef you could also finish. Somewhat grey, but I'm sure it won't taste awful. Yes, my four-legged associate. Now,
Până la urmă, ce s-a întâmplat cu bomba? Voi ce ați înțeles? Ăsta au fost nebun și și-a închipuit tot? Sau chiar au văzut ce au văzut și bomba și toate chestiile alea și cu rusul dispărut pe care l-a găsit el acolo și au furat bomba și au legat-o la device-ul de vreme și cu infestația și poluarea și tot? Sau credeți că, ce credeți? Sau totul a fost închipuirile lui care s-au generat pe baza amintirilor lui, viselor lui, întâmplărilor din realitate, chestii cu familia, chestii cu istoria, cu Rusia, cu ălea și probabil toate prostiile astea în capul lui o s-o genera și o crea jocul ăsta. Voi ce credeți? Ce credeți? Așa după voi. Au fost totul închipuirile lui sau chiar au fost în lumea aia și cu racheta și cu toate alea? Uite, am 6 din 6 aici, 5 din 5 aici, 6 din 6 aici, 6 din 7 aici. Îmi lipsește un collectible. Și uite aici iar am 6 din 7, 9 din 9, 10 din 10, 9 din 9. Deci mai trebuie să joc două leveluri de 2 ori ca să-l fac 100%. Nice. Bun. Cum iese în meniu de aici? Sigur s-a întâmplat așa? O fantezie. Și eu cred că el a fost trimis în misiunea aia, care a fost trimis. Și eu cred că el a luat o razna, s-o fi lovit la cap, s-o fi izbit de vreo planetă, l-a găsit undeva, s-o fi dat și el cred că și închipuia că a văzut toate chestiile alea și s-a făcuse salată în capul lui, cu, ai văzut, cu peștii, cu balenele, cu laica. Cred că s-a făcut o salată în capul lui și când l-au găsit ăștia după 3 ani sau unde l-au fi găsit, el probabil crede că chiar au făcut astea. Eu asta cred. Nu știu acum ce să zic. În niciun caz nu e adevărat ce a văzut el. Adică e prea fantastic, știi? Așa, și dacă mergem la reward-uri, uite, am 64 din 66 collectible-uri. Și la outfit-uri le-am pe toate. Nice. Și acum anumite achievement-uri mai cer să joci levelul nu știu care cu outfit-ul ăsta. Să joci levelul nu știu care cu costumul ălalt. Și cam asta mai am eu de făcut, dar nu o să fac pe live. Ideea este că e foarte aproape de final. 64 din 66. Deci îmi lipsesc două bile. Două bile de alea pe care trebuie să mai joc încă o dată level-urile alea două. Și gata. Cea mai nasoală parte este că zice că la unul din achievement-uri cere să joc ultima fază din nou. Cu un costum de ăsta, iară cu peștele. Dar o să-mi fac eu nervi altă dată. Astea sunt faine să afli cum s-a făcut jocul. De exemplu, uite, dai pe asta.
Of course, the axis mundi is not always a
Îți
clock.
povestește cum au desenat,
Some
cum
people
au...
think of it as a pillar or a tree, a ladder or even
Axis Mundi. Foarte tare. Deci, ia
an
uite.
electrical kraken may sound horrendous, but legend has it that such beasts were tender lovers whose dedication.
Afli despre general.
In later life, the general retired from the army and dedicated himself to beekeeping, eventually amassing a small herd of just over 2 billion Carpathian bees, a record for Bashkiria. At least, that is what I am led to believe.
Și că s-au aplicat de apicultură și au strâns vreo 2 milioane de 2 milioane de albine carpate. Carpatine? Carpatine. Și că sau cel puțin asta mi s-a spus să cred. Ia uite.
I don't recall ever seeing another whale, but I have heard they are sociable creatures. Perhaps the sheer size of the brute made the others keep their distance. I do wonder what the view from the eye might have been like otherwise.
Vezi? Na, astea sunt informații despre cum a fost făcut jocul.
In retrospect, I often wonder if I was overly harsh on the worms. They were simply doing as their nature intended, which was to be disgusting, parasitic monsters driven to consume and excrete with wild abandon.
Tare. Bun, eu o să-l mai termin când o să-l mai termin. Sper că v-a plăcut. Ăsta a fost Little Orpheus. A lăsat un pic de loc de continuare. Probabil mai are el cine știe ce idei pe acolo. Ne vedem la următorul click. Nu știu cu ce o să fie. Aveți răbdare când o să fie și cum o să fie. Eu mai am liber mâine, așa că sigur ne mai vedem o dată sau de 2 ori până marți. Habar n-am. Mulțumesc de vizionare. Cine vrea să joace jocul, îl găsiți. E foarte scurt, după cum te-ați văzut, dar foarte aesthetically pleasing. Și vedem. Am deja niște titluri puse deoparte pentru următoare episoade de full game deodată, într-o zi. Urmează Paradise Lost, Artful Escape și ceva de genul ăsta. Paradise Lost, lupul știi, că l-ai mai văzut. Și The Gunk, exact. Cam astea 3 urmează ca jocuri full făcute într-o zi. Dar o să știți că durează. Unele din ele 6-7 ore. Depinde cât aveți voi răbdare, că asta e. Vreți să le vedeți bine? Nu. Deci o problemă, eu le-am jucat deja. Mai mult vreau să vi le arăt vouă. V-am salutizat. Să fiți cu mine, seară faină, spor la joacă și ne mai vedem. Ciao les.